Hi, I'm Tash.
And I'm T.
And we're here to talk to you about everything from life's little hiccups to the big things that you might be overthinking. And let's be real, it's probably not that deep, sis.
So grab your drink, get comfy, because we're giving it to you straight from the couch.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of It's Not That Deep, sis.
And it's not that deep, sis.
It's never not that deep. It's never not that deep. Anyway.
So it works.
My I was today years old is really not that deep.
Okay,
But
go ahead, share.
I was about 5 days ago old when I found out that not everyone brushes their teeth twice a day.
That's disgusting. That is deep. We need to talk about that severely right now.
Oh my God, I don't want to call out who I was talking to, but I was with a bunch of friends and they were talking because they were staying away for the night or whatever, and someone was like, oh, I felt really gross because I was so tired and I got into bed and I didn't brush my teeth and everyone else was up brushing their teeth, and they were like, oh, don't worry, that was a once off. I felt pressured to brush my teeth. I don't brush my teeth at night. And so people started talking and were like, yeah, I only brush my teeth in the morning.
That's
and
wild.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, you have to brush your teeth twice a day. And they're like, no, it's like the conversation about whether you shower in the morning or night. I was like, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
I was like, you only need to shower once a day. So whether you do it in the morning or night is a preference, but the dentist tells you that you're meant to brush your teeth twice a day. And brushing your teeth at night is so important because
it's more important than in the morning.
Yeah, they say that you're meant to brush your teeth at night to keep your teeth. So like to get rid of plaque, to make sure you don't get cavities, but then you brush your teeth in the morning to keep your friends. So to get rid of bad breath and things like that. I just could not believe that there's adults out there that do not brush their teeth twice a day.
That's wild.
I am shook.
Like for anyone that maybe doesn't know, like what you were saying of why it's so important at nighttime to brush your teeth is because if you think about it, you're sleeping for at least 8 hours, maybe more, maybe a little bit less. That means during those 8-hour periods, whatever you've consumed during that day is being like, there's not enough saliva. You're not drinking water to sort of wash away any sugars or any plaque in your mouth that's existing, and it's just sitting there overnight, and that's why it's so important.
And like, I cannot sleep if I don't brush my teeth.
It feels
like,
disgusting.
Yeah, it's like washing off your makeup. Like I feel so uncomfortable. So it doesn't matter how tired I am, my teeth are being brushed, my makeup's coming off.
Yeah.
But like also having gum disease or bad teeth can kill you.
Yeah,
like
I think people don't realize
it's so important
that.
to look after your teeth.
Yeah, and also like a smile is everything.
I
like
know.
if you've got missing teeth, like,
and like I can sit here and judge because my dentist said I have perfect teeth, so that's from brushing my teeth twice a day. Anyways, what is your today years old?
So my today years old is that I found out as of recently that so just to recap, just to give a little bit of context, I have a friend who's recently fallen pregnant, and her partner had been trying to get pregnant for a little bit over a year, and they were not having any luck, and they were getting to the point where their doctor was saying you're probably going to need to try IVF at the start of this year if they weren't to fall pregnant at the end of last year. However, their doctor suggested a step before trying IVF, and it's called ovulation induction. And what it does is that the female gets given medication. So it's a once-off medication, and basically it stimulates your ovaries to produce eggs, and then they can tell exactly when you are ovulating. So, we follow apps like Flow, and it can give us an indication as to when you're ovulating. However, it's not always 100% accurate. This way, it's not only 100% accurate, but also you're stimulating your ovaries so that you're giving yourself the best chance in your ovulation period. And then when you know exactly when you're ovulating, then you need to make the decision to conceive. Anyways, they did it one time and it worked. So they don't need to go through the IVF process anymore, which is so invasive and it's so expensive. And I just don't think it's talked about enough. Like, I didn't know anything about it.
I've never heard of it before.
Yeah. And like, it's so much cheaper. Some of it's you can get rebates on it.
Yeah.
And it's far less invasive.
Because IVF is not covered by Medicare at all.
No.
But this is.
Yes. Well, it can be depending on your GP.
Okay.
But even if it's not covered, it's like what, like $350, $400,
Yeah.
which obviously like is a lot of money, but it's not nearly as expensive what IVF is.
No, we're talking tens of thousands of dollars for
Yeah.
IVF, and it's very invasive.
Yeah.
Obviously, sometimes it takes quite a few tries. And I don't know what the success rate with this is, but if they did it once,
Yeah,
that
I think
is
it's
awesome.
It's definitely, if you're struggling to get pregnant, I think that step is definitely something worth giving a go before jumping to IVF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I know, and I just work. Why is it not more talked about?
Because they hate women.
Yeah, and they just
The
want
medical
more
system
money.
hates women. That's
Yeah.
wild. But
So-
it's really, really cool to know.
Yeah.
So today we're talking, is it ever too late to start something new?
So is it ever really too late to change careers, start a degree, learn a new skill, or try something completely different? So in this episode, we unpack where the fear of being behind comes from, why comparison keeps us stuck, and why changing direction is often a sign of growth and not failure. Whether you're 25 or 55, this is your reminder that you're allowed to evolve.
Yay.
Like Pokemon. Gotta catch them all.
Okay, sorry, Joe.
I've been living here for too long.
Become one of us. So at what age should we all agree that life was supposed to be figured out? Because if you ask us, it's usually our younger selves who make these assumptions that by a certain age we should have it all sorted out and our direction set in stone, which is honestly ridiculous, considering most of us have no idea what we're doing as teenagers or even in our early 20s. So where does this belief come from? A lot of it comes from timelines we've inherited in Western society. From a young age, we're enrolled in school, told to go to uni or to get a degree, build a career, and eventually settle down. These milestones are presented as a linear path, and when we deviate from it, we're often made to feel inadequate or behind. We're taught that changing our minds means we've failed, when in reality, it often means we've learnt more about ourselves and are no longer willing to say that something doesn't serve us.
And this pressure is only amplified by comparison. So to our parents, friends, peers, and especially people on social media, making it feel like everyone else is somehow ahead. This year, Tash is turning 32. Sorry to expose, and I'm turning 30. So we're sharing the things we've changed, started, or stopped completely that don't necessarily align with the traditional societal timeline to remind you that being behind is a made-up concept.
Made up, lies, liar.
Total lies.
So we're going to talk about the things that we have changed, stopped,
Or started.
into our 30s that most people think...
Or late 20s.
Or late 20s.
Yeah.
That most people think that maybe it's potentially too late to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to do one by one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to go first?
Yes. Starting a uni degree later. Sorry. I just ate my mic. Yummy.
Is it yummy? Piggy licked that.
Delish. So as I said, I'm turning 30 this year, and I'm a part-time university student, and I'm now in my 5th year of study. So I started my degree when I was 26, I think it was. And like, I feel like to a lot of people, starting a degree at 26, it's like, oh, well, like, you're going to be, because like, I feel like every time it's like, oh, but you're going to be what, 32 or 33 when you finish your degree? So fucking what?
Yeah.
I'm going to turn 33 regardless. I may as well get a degree out of it.
Yes.
Like
100%.
I think that's the mindset with a lot of things that you should have, is that you're going to turn whatever age regardless. Whether you do the thing or not, that is inevitable.
Yeah.
So you may as well just go out and do it.
100%. And what really frustrates me is that we are expected as 16, 17-year-olds that when we finish grade 12, we're meant to know what we want to do for the rest of our lives. And it's so normalized that we should pick a career based on what we find fun at the time or can envision ourselves doing at the time. Then we've got to go commit to uni and spend tens of thousands of dollars committing to a career that when you're 16 and 17, you have no idea.
Yeah.
And you're also not exposed to everything as well. So you're making this massive decision about what to spend tens of thousands of dollars on to study to therefore be your career for the rest of your life when you haven't even stepped out into the world yet.
Yeah.
Mum and dad are still driving you around and you're you can't even drink alcohol.
Yeah, you haven't even, well, for the most part, like left home at that point.
Yeah.
Like you haven't been exposed to a lot of things that make up who you are as an individual person.
And so does it not make more sense to start that journey when you're a little bit older?
Yeah. And I always say this, but I don't think that if I had started my degree when I was fresh out of high school or in my really early 20s, I don't think that I would have valued it as much as what I do now. But because I value my time and I'm doing this purely for myself and to create options in my life, and not just because it's a pathway, I really take a lot out of it. Whereas I feel like if I had done it earlier, maybe it would have just been like, I'm just doing this just to get my paper.
Yeah, I just need to get through this and then I've got my degree and I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Instead of really going, even if I don't use this, what can I learn from it?
For sure. Yeah. And I've learnt so much.
And you have, and I love having the conversations with you from your degree, and it's so much from a holistic point of view, not just, well, this is what I can do with it, which is really cool.
So get that paper.
Get that bag, girl. So my first thing that I changed is my career, and I've changed it twice since I've been 30. So I spent about 7 years building what I thought was my dream job, my dream career. I was working ridiculous hours. I was breaking my soul and my mental health to create this career, which I thought was the absolute end goal at the end of the day. And then the moment I turned 30, I was like, do you know what? I quit. Bye. And then I started something new, and I knew this new thing that I was going to do is not my career. I just went, I want to be happy, and what fits into the era of life that I want right now. And I picked a role that fit that. And then I got to the end of 12 months and I went, this doesn't fit my life anymore. I've learnt so much from this. I've enjoyed so much of it. But you know what? I'm in a new era now and I've started a brand new job again.
Yeah.
So since I've turned 30, this is for after, especially when I was someone who had stayed in the same job for 7 to 8 years. And then in the last 2 years, I've had 2 different jobs. But what it's taught me is that I am not my job.
Yeah.
I am not my role title. I am not what I do for work. I am not my paycheck. I do a job that creates the lifestyle that I want outside of work. And by doing that, I've disengaged from this idea that you have to do all these particular things when it comes to your job, or you have to be in a job for a certain amount of time, or if you're at a certain age, you need to be doing a certain level of work. And I've removed all of that and I've gone, what makes me happy? What can give me the lifestyle I want? And I'll do that.
Yeah, I love that for you.
Yeah.
And I think also something that you have taken away from it that I think a lot of people miss when they have been in a job or built their career for such a long time, and they get to the point where they're like, I don't really know if this is for me anymore, but they're trying to decide whether they're going to leave that, is that it's not a waste of time if you start over. Like you said, like you learnt so much from those 7 to 8 years in the career that you were building, and you've implemented that in other ways, whether it be your personal life or the new jobs that you go into. It was not a waste of time. It served what it needed to serve for that era in your life, and then it's you taking little bits of that and putting it into the new era.
Exactly. Just because you don't do something forever does not mean that it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
Even if it wasn't the best experience ever, it doesn't mean that you can't take things from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
My second one is leaving relationships, and it sort of goes off of what you were saying in that it's not a waste of time. So I think we get really scared, and I'm talking about romantic relationships, friendships, family, whatever it may be. It's never too late to leave relationships that no longer serve you. So if you're somebody that's sitting there and going, well, I've put so much time and effort and all of these years into a relationship, even though you're sitting there and going, but I'm just not happy with the relationship and where it's heading and it doesn't serve me anymore, you need to just think about, okay, all those years have not served for nothing. You still became the person that you are because of the relationships that you experienced, and they gave whatever it is that you needed during that time, but it's time to move on now.
Yeah. It's actually really funny that you bring that up, because the podcast I was listening to on my walk this morning gave a statistic from Relationships Australia that 60% of women stay in their relationships because it's either too hard to leave, and not from like a domestic violence point of view where they're scared to leave, but what you're just saying is they've put in so much time and energy into this relationship, it seems harder for them to start over than to just stay in it.
Yeah.
60% of women are not living their best life.
Yeah, and
Is
that's
that
so
not
sad.
wild?
It's really sad, and like I think it can be really easy to get stuck in that mindset because I do think there is a lot of fear mongering around, like not only relationships but basically everything in our life, to be like, don't be a quitter.
Yeah.
Like just push on through. Continue to see it through to the end, but some things just aren't worth it if it means that your happiness is at risk. And if you're not happy, then you need to explore other options.
100%.
And maybe it's just taking that step back for a little bit and going, okay, is this what I want anymore? And is this serving me in a way that I want to be served?
Yeah. And things aren't always going to be great, but as holistically, if that relationship is not serving you for the majority of it, because you're going to have ups and downs in relationships, whether that be with your family or your friends or your romantic partner, but holistically, if you look at it and go, this is really not right for me, there's absolutely nothing wrong with stepping away. But I think it's really important, like you said, just to look back on it and go, I got so much out of that. This is not me saying that wasn't worth it, or I didn't enjoy lots of parts of it. It just doesn't serve me anymore, and that's completely fine.
Yeah.
And like, I just don't understand this idea of I don't want to be the happiest version of myself.
Yeah. And I think also being able to identify in the first place that this is not what I want anymore is worth it in itself. Like that's a learning.
That's growth.
That's growth. That goes to show that you are in a place in your life where you can go, okay, like I want other things now.
Yeah, I want more.
For myself.
It's like the the first step to admitting becoming clean is admitting you're an alcoholic.
Yeah, exactly. It's same.
So one thing that I started into my 30s is I started being a reader. I started being a Pilates princess. I started being a person that moved their body every day. I started being a person who makes butter. And it's not about the specific things, but it was I saw things that I found fun and admirable. And instead of saying, I wish I was like that, or I can't do that, or I'm not good at that, I said, I'm going to be that person and it's never too late. So I think sometimes we get in our heads, but I'm not like that, or I don't have time for that. And we sell ourselves these really negative narratives that everything's too hard. And once again, I think when we start looking at things, sometimes, for instance, some people go, I have to go to the gym because I know that that's right. But I think sometimes we need to strip that back and go, okay, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to go to the gym? If it's a yes, then I think that you need to understand that you can do whatever you want. So you need to remove all those excuses and find a way to achieve that. But sometimes we also do things that we think that we're meant to do. So if you don't want to go to the gym, but you want to go do a dance class once a week, find that as your thing, but like figuring out what you really want. So that was the first thing, is I found the things that I found fun and admirable, and then I took away all the excuses and I just started doing them.
Yeah, and doing them in a way that's like, do I feel like doing that today? Yeah, okay, I'm going to go do it. Do I? Maybe some days you just don't feel like doing it, and then you don't do it, but you remove the pressure. Yeah,
it doesn't have to be an all-in thing.
Yeah.
But once again, it's about finding what makes you happy and doing those things.
Yeah, it's all about happiness at the end of the day. My third is changing your personal style. I think that we can get a little bit stuck on, well, like I can't try new things because like that doesn't serve my identity, like because maybe I have for all of my life been a sporty girl, and that's been my aesthetic forever, and that's how everyone knows me, or like I've been blonde my entire life, and like it would just like I want to try something new, but like what if like I don't, what if it doesn't look good on me? First of all, you can change your hairstyle whenever you want. Your hair grows back.
Yeah.
It can be a
What's
scary
the worst that's
endeavor.
You're going to spend a month with a hair color you don't like.
Exactly. But if you've been tossing up like for the past 2 months of, I really want to try that copper color, just go ahead and try it.
Yeah.
You don't need to stick with it forever. You can go back to blonde if you want to, but anything to do with your personal style, just play with it, have fun with it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to stay in the same era style for the rest of your life.
Be a walking contradiction. Like, sometimes we go, like, we get scared to do things because we may have never done it before or been against it before, and we're scared that if we do it, people are going to think we're a hypocrite, or, you know, all of those kinds of things. And I mean, like, in a really small world, but like, oh, I don't really like wearing eyeliner, and then one day you're like, do you know what, I want to try wearing eyeliner, and then someone's like, I thought you said you didn't like wearing eyeliner. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to be a walking contradiction if it makes you happy and you're not hurting anyone.
But it also makes it really important to never make definitive statements, to be like, I would never dye my hair brown, because like one day you might, you might so do true. It.
But even if you do make,
you're not signing a contract. Like, stop thinking that you're not allowed to do things.
And if you don't think that over the time you're not going to change the things that you value and you like, you're not evolving.
Yeah, exactly.
To contradict yourself, I feel like sometimes means that you are growing.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean you need to like it. You might try it and go, I fucking hate this.
So I was right.
Yeah, I was right. Yeah, I just proved that I was right once again.
I wanted to give it a little go.
And you gave it a go. Okay, sure. But now you know. You're not going to be thinking about it for the rest of your life. Yeah. So just go. Go ahead.
Do it.
Shave your head, queen.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Go ahead and shave your head. So one thing that I've stopped is I stopped trying to have all the friends.
Yeah.
I think, like, in our 20s, especially with social media, we are brainwashed into thinking we're meant to have this massive group of friends.
I could never.
Right?
I don't have the time.
I don't have the energy. But I also don't want it. And I think that was a really big realization, is that I would see everyone hanging out in these big friendship groups or these big groups of friends, and they would do everything together. And I was like, I want that. I want to have this big group of friends that I spend all of my time with, and I can have, you know, do all of these activities with. And so, you know, everywhere I went, I would, you know, whether it was at work, I tried to make a big group of friends, or wherever, and I make friends quite easily. But what I realized is that I don't actually thrive in a big group environment. Where I thrive is having really strong individual or coupled relationships. And I actually enjoy spending a lot of time on my own or with my partner or with you, and I love all of the relationships I already have, and I really don't need more. And if they happen organically, that's fantastic. But I think for a really long time I got worried that I didn't have this big group of friends, and so I tried to fill that void. But what I realize now is that I love the relationships I have. They fill up my cup. Some relationships I see them once a quarter, some relationships I see them once a weekend, and I have enough love in my life that I don't need to be going seeking this big group of friends.
And I really resonate with that sentiment as well. Where I feel like we differ is that I do struggle like to make friends, and I think that comes from a place of I can have quite a strong wall up when it comes to meeting new people. I find it very hard to be vulnerable with new people. But what I've learnt growing up is that, because I always felt like, why can't I just easily make friends? Why can't I just open up more easily? Like, why can't I just let people into my life? But I also have identified that, like you, it's because I don't really find it necessary to have a lot of friends. And like you were saying, like, I feel like my cup is really full with the relationships that I do already have in my life, and I like to put my energy into those, like all of my energy into those existing relationships as is. So I don't feel the need to extend beyond that. And it's not to say that if somebody was to walk into my life and like I really connected with them, that I would brush them off. Of course not. But I'm not actively seeking like what I once did.
You're not seeking it out because you think you need it. If it comes to you, you'll embrace it. But it's no longer this need to go, I have to have this big group of friends. And I think once you remove yourself of what you think you need and actually start appreciating what you have. I do have a lot of friends, and I think where I was getting overwhelmed or like felt behind is I didn't have one big group. But when I stood back and I started looking at all the facets of my life, I do have a lot of friends that fill up different cups, but they're just all individual relationships. And that's what made me realize is I thrive with one-on-one. I thrive in a group of like 2 or 3. I don't thrive in these big groups. And that's why it's never really worked out. And so I stopped searching for it and started embracing the relationships I did have and how I had those relationships instead of trying to fit into that bubble.
Yeah.
And I just feel so much freer. Like you don't feel like you're constantly trying, like forcing things to happen.
Yeah. I think forcing is a good word when you're trying to force something. My fourth one is similar to your second, which is trying different hobbies and deciding some things are just not for me and not seeing that as a failure. Yeah. And I think that's so important. Like just try the thing. If you fail at it, who fucking cares? Go to the next thing.
I remember as you were saying that, it just reminded me, remember when you were roller skating?
So last year I made a commitment to myself that I wanted to try new things, and one of those things was roller skating, because I had come across a couple of videos on YouTube with like girls like roller skating. I was like, that looks really fucking cool, and I had the initial reaction to be like, I could never do that. My ability to be coordinated and stable on my feet is really bad, and I was like, I just could never do that. And I'm also somebody that gets really scared of hurting themselves.
Yeah, me too.
And anyways, but I was like, you know what? Fuck that. So I went onto Marketplace, found some roller skates that were quite cheap, and I bought them. And I started just going out to empty lots and just roller skating, and it was fun. Like I had a good time. And then I got to the point where I was like, okay, that's it.
Yeah,
I had fun with it.
I tried fun.
Yeah, and I don't really feel the need to explore that any further.
And it might come back.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I still have the roller skates. I might one day wake up and go, you know what would be fun? Like, just going to an empty lot and just having a little bit of a blade.
Yeah.
A little bit of a skate.
A little bit of blade.
Yeah, let's go for a blade. Let's go for a blade.
You're such a loser.
Let's go for a blade.
Oh god!
I don't know why I said it like that.
I don't know. Maybe because you're a weirdo. So you know how you asked before, why don't you have any friends?
Yeah.
Kidding.
The good ones will always see that as a positive.
Exactly. Another thing I changed my mind on in my late 20s is my mindset on investing. So, and this isn't going to be a TED Talk on investing, but it was more like there's this thing around, I wish I started when I was 20. We can always wish that we did things earlier, but I changed my mindset to go, it's never too late to start. So I could have sat there and gone, I haven't done this before. I know nothing about it. We weren't taught in school. I didn't have, people growing up that could teach me about it. And I could go, I know nothing about it. It's really scary and it's too late to start. Or I could just rip off the Band-Aid and go, I'm going to teach myself as much as possible. It's really scary and I'm going to give it a go. And it doesn't matter that I'm almost 30 when I'm starting. At least I'm starting.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so much about, I didn't want to get into the TED Talk about investing, but more so it's just never too late, to change your financial circumstances or to educate yourself financially, or to start taking little risks to better your future you.
Yeah.
Because some people go, I wish I bought my house when I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
But just start now.
And I think people, especially when it comes to investing, they go, well, I don't really have a huge amount of disposable income to just put money somewhere else. And it's like, just start with $10 a month.
Yeah.
Like, it's $10 a month more than what you would have anyways. You're not losing anything from doing that.
Or just start with listening or reading, listening to podcasts or reading books about it. Start there. And then start with downloading an app that allows you to invest. And then, as you said, start with $10 a month.
Yeah.
And then you will realize you can see it start doing its thing, and you'll get the confidence to do more and to learn more and all of those kinds of things. But it's never too late to change your financial situation.
Yeah. You just got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere.
My fifth one is you're never too old for the whimsical. Never too old.
Ever.
Never. If you want to be a whimsical bitch, Go ahead and be a whimsical bitch. Yeah, I come across so many videos of these 60-year-old women who are out in their fairy gardens smoking a little dope, and they have their music of their CD players and stuff playing, and they're wearing all the flowy gowns, and they just look so free, and they're doing like the little rituals of their with their sage and their incenses, and I'm just like, honestly, that's what I thrive to be in my 60s.
But I was going to say, you don't even need to go to that extent.
No.
Like, you are way more witchy than I am. But I still embrace, like, we do our tarot card readings at the beginning of every year. And, you know, we'll burn some incense and we'll talk about star signs and things like that. So even just finding parts of the whimsy that you really enjoy, you don't have to go all in and go to that extent.
Yeah.
If you want to, fucking embrace it. But also, if you're just like, I just want to be a little bit more whimsical, find the things that connect with you and add them to your daily routine.
And I think, like, people tend to think that being whimsical means that you're really naive and you're really childish. Go fuck yourself. Honestly.
Don't talk to the girls like that.
No, the darlings are fine. I know none of the darlings are thinking that. I'm talking specifically to a very specific audience. If you think that it's childish and naive, then I'm sorry, but you're a little bit fucking lame.
You're boring.
You're boring.
Boring. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Just once again, just fucking have some fun.
Yeah, life is about having fun.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
Get over it.
Do you know what I did when I turned 30?
Oh,
you just read it.
Yeah.
I started a fucking podcast. And, you know, I love doing this. This has been so much fun, and it's been a really good way for us to connect and be creative.
Yeah.
And because we go for walks every day together, and we are just chatty little boxes, and we have some really good conversations, and I think this is where the podcast started.
Yeah.
But even this, if no one ever listens to this or this doesn't go anywhere, it's been so much fun, and I've learned so much from it, and it's been a good connection for us and all of these kinds of things. And once again, you know, I could have gone, oh, I've got a career and I'm 30 years old. What am I know nothing about podcasting. I know nothing about social media. But instead I go, do you know what? That sounds really fucking fun.
Yeah.
Let's just give it a go.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when you remove the pressure of like, oh, like, are we going to get any views? Are people actually going to listen? But I think like we went into it with the concept of we don't care about that. No. That's a byproduct of the podcast. Of like, okay, if that happens, that would be amazing. But ultimately we are doing it for ourselves because we do find it fun, and it's something that we do regardless anyway. So and also Tashi and I, oh my God, just exposed your government name.
Delete it.
Delete it.
We're shutting down the podcast. I'm sorry. So a bit of insight to why that was really weird.
Yeah.
It's obviously I'm Tash, but my family calls me Tashi, and I hate it with my heart and soul. Tiana's tried so hard for this podcast to call me Tash.
And it just feels so, I had to think about it. It feels really unnatural to me.
And she just messed it up.
Yeah.
And she's dead to me.
Anyways.
Continue.
Now I've just lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. Oh, what was I saying?
Something about Tashi.
We listen to podcast, and we found that we listen to very similar podcasts, and we do find that we get a lot out of it.
Yeah.
And so even if it helps one person, one individual person to like in any aspect, then I think job done.
100%. And even if it helps us.
Yeah.
Like, as I said, I've learned so much from doing this. Even just how to fucking figure out this audio.
Oh, that was our biggest obstacle, because we're just not technical girlies.
No, we're not technical girlies. And we're really lucky that we have two people in our lives that are very, very technical that have been able to help us. But you know, I've learned so much from doing this, and it's given me extra confidence, and it's taught me so much, because you're having to reflect on where this podcast is talking about us.
It's like a time capsule in a way.
We're reflecting on who we are and what we want to do. And so I'm learning so much about myself and my journey. So even if people listening, number one, even if people aren't listening, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
And if it does take off, thanks, guys. We really appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
What's your last one?
Okay, my last one is therapy.
Yeah.
It is never too late
You've
to go.
never talked about therapy before. This is so
No, I know.
weird.
This is crazy. I don't care if I bring it up in every single episode that we do. It's always relevant, no matter what. But I just think that it's never, ever, ever too late to go to therapy. And it's also one of those things where you can stop and start. I've stopped and started going to therapy on multiple different occasions because I found that sometimes I feel like I need therapy in times of my life more than I do others. And the times that I've stopped, it's not because I'm going, I'm fixed.
Yeah, I'm cured.
It's come to a complete, like, I'm done for life.
Yeah.
I know that there's going to be a time when I do go back to my therapist and go, hello, it's me again. And it doesn't necessarily mean because I've gone through something, but just maybe if it's been a couple of years and I go, actually, I just need to do a little bit of reflection.
Yeah.
I just need to do a little bit more of a deep dive on where I'm at in life and reevaluate things. And maybe I just need somebody to talk to that's, objective and isn't a family member or a friend or whatever it may be. But it's never, ever, ever too late to go to therapy.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's
Enough said.
it. That's
it.
I stopped putting a timeline on and if when we have kids. We won't do it before we're too old or because all of our friends are or when we're ready. We'll do it if and when we want. And period. Done. I think for like somebody who's entered into their 30s, is married in a very happy relationship, who is a very maternal person, like I'm a fucking like cool fucking auntie, I'll tell you that much. But I still don't know if I want children, and it consumes so much of my life. And I think for a lot of women, it does. And we just stopped putting a timeline on it.
Yeah.
And just went, and we stopped back waiting to be ready, because a lot of people are like, oh, you're never going to be ready. And I think that's really, really valid. And I think instead of going, wait until you're ready, or, oh, you'll never be ready, so just do it whenever. I think the thing that me and my husband have now is we'll do it when we really want to.
Yeah.
I think that want comes around, we will do it.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I was just going to say, I think that there will be a time if you decide that you want to have children. I think there will be a time when you just go, yeah, like we would be happy if we had children now.
And not like, oh, yeah, we'll be happy, we'll give it a go.
Yeah,
but like, we really want this.
Yeah.
And I think that's just Joe and I in general, is we're very much people that we just don't do anything that we don't want to do. Like, obviously we have to wash our dishes and clean our clothes and things like that. But I'm talking about, we don't just do things because we've gone, well, that's life, or, everyone else is doing it, or we think it'll make us happy. We're very much people that are like, if we don't want it wholeheartedly, we really don't do it. And I think because having children will be the biggest decision you ever make in your life, bar the person that you choose to spend the rest of your life with, unless we go, we wholeheartedly really want this, I don't think we'll do it. And being able to just then go off a feeling and that energy instead of going off a timeline has been so much more refreshing, because now I'm just waiting for this feeling to see if it ever comes, and if it doesn't, then that's fine. Instead of going, okay, but I'm 32 this year and then that means da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and going off this timeline is just instead now waiting for this beautiful feeling and being okay if it never comes. That's a lot more refreshing.
Yeah. Takes away the pressure as
well.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. And also, why revolve your life around something that hasn't even happened yet?
Yeah, just consuming something that may never. Yeah, you may never want.
It's like stressing about something twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okie dokie. So we've curated a list of things to give a go in 2026. So small ways to challenge our expectation of timelines. These things don't need to be huge, life-changing steps. We're not talking about a 10-year plan. It's about giving ourselves permission to try, explore, and not be afraid to fail. So one thing we've got is download a language app and spend 20 minutes a day learning a new phrase in a different language. You don't need the goal that I'm going to be fluent in Spanish by the end of 2026. Even if you can pick up like the basic phrases and know them wholeheartedly by the end of 26, like how to say hi, bye, thank you, order a coffee, fucking cool
yeah,
as.
Yeah.
Or learning how to like maybe even say thank you in like 5 different languages. Or
Yeah,
something
just
like
one
that.
phrase. Yeah.
Read one chapter of a book a day. This is something that I've implemented into. So I started reading last year, but my 2026 goal was I read at least a chapter a day now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Research that course you've been keeping an eye on.
Yeah. You don't have to do the course. Just research it first.
Yeah, just start looking it up.
Yeah.
And see if it's for you. Start a realistic budget to help you save for that home or that dream holiday, or even like for that really cool jacket you want. Or it could be something so small, but looking at your finances and starting a little budget to have something to work towards.
Yeah.
Watch a YouTube tutorial on something you've always thought would be fun but look too hard, like crocheting, roller skating, or gardening.
Yeah.
Once again, just start the research. See if it's for you.
And everything is at our fingertips.
Yeah.
Like you don't actually ever have to wonder, oh, how do you do that?
Yeah.
You look it up and there's like a billion different tutorials on how to do it.
I always love it when you see on like Facebook posts and things and people are like, but how do you... Google is right there, babe.
Yeah. I think the exact same thing.
Join a sports club or activity group. Start planning that business you've always dreamed about.
Yeah.
Once again, you don't have to do it. Just
start to plan it. Just plan it.
Yeah.
Even if it's like a vision board, just start somewhere.
Yeah.
And then you'll really get an idea as to whether you really want it or not. Because if you're not even willing to put the energy into doing a vision board, then maybe you don't really want that career. You know what I mean? Like,
It's just things, these tiny little micro things that we can start doing to just get the wheels turning. And once again, it'll either, those wheels will keep turning and it'll turn into something really cool, or you go, do you know what, that actually wasn't for me, and then you can start your wheels turning on something else.
Yeah, and you haven't invested this massive amount of time and money into something that has gone, okay, I don't really want to do this anymore.
But you're no longer sitting there going, what if?
Yeah, exactly. Remove the what if.
Yeah. The truth is we're constantly evolving, and it's normal to outgrow identities that no longer fit the version of ourselves we're becoming. You're not late. You're right on time for who you are now.
You can never be behind on your own life.
Yeah.
It's your life.
It's your life. Live it how you want to. I'm actually going to start singing this year. I wanted to, so it's something I keep seeing on Instagram as well, is that the shows that... so a lot of us are entering into our 30s, or like, you know, coming towards the mid of our 30s. And then it talks about shows that we love. So like Sex and the City and Gilmore Girls. Do you know that in season 1, both of the main characters are 32? So really, we're just all entering our first season.
I love that.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And also good on both of those shows, because they were introduced in the 90s, and making those main characters that
older
age, like during that period, is like a pretty big step toward the right direction.
Yeah, but it's so cool because we can look back and go, they were just entering season 1, so are we.
Yeah.
It's not the end, it's the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we got a Reddit post here. So this person asked, is 26 considered old? Kind of felt like I wasted my life. Is it too late for me to improve myself and be confident? How can I enjoy my 20s? Because I know I wasted my teenage years by not having a social life. And I get this feeling that I still am, because I work at this job and I'm not attending college, and I felt like I'm not smart enough for it, and I'm too old for college too. How can I enjoy my life to the fullest in my 20s, or be a confident and outgoing person that I always wanted to be since childhood? Is 26 too late Is 26 too late? It's because, the grammar is really bad in this Reddit post. I should have edited it first. Is 26 too late for self-improvement?
No. In like short answer, no.
Yeah. Never.
Do you know what's wild?
You're so young.
So young. And I don't want to sound like an old person, but like I think back to when I was 26 years old, little tiny baby.
Yeah.
Little baby girl. And it's really hard when you're in it, because when you are 26, you go, oh my God, I am getting towards my 30s. And you start going into this normal thing of that my life is over when I'm 30. But I look back at 32 now and go, 26-year-old Tash, you a little bit tiny baby.
Yeah, you don't know jack shit.
I still don't know jack shit.
Yeah,
but that's
okay. And also, and I think like being that age as well, you do have a tendency to compare yourself to so many people in your life or outside of your life, people you don't even know. But comparison will always be the thief of joy.
Yeah. I was having sorry, this doesn't answer your question, read a post person, but we will come back to it. But you just reminded me, I was having a conversation with a girlfriend the other day, and I don't know what comes first, the chicken or the egg, but one thing I've realized is I'm actually not a very jealous person. And by not being a jealous, so I can look at people and I can admire them and I can go, I admire how, beautiful your hair is, or I admire how, gung-ho at your job you are, but I never go, oh, I'm jealous of that person. Yeah. So by not being a jealous person, I feel like I can embrace my life and the things that I want to do more because I'm doing them genuinely because I want to do them and I believe I can do them, instead of going, oh, I'm jealous of that person and therefore I want to replicate what they have. But I don't know what came first, is that I started loving myself and therefore I'm no longer jealous, or I'm just innately maybe not a jealous person and therefore I find it easier to love myself.
I think it can be a combination of two, but I definitely lean more towards that. I think jealousy is just the ruler of your insecurities. So if you're somebody that may be insecure about how you perform in your job, you may lean a little bit more towards being jealous of somebody who is really good at the same role that you do. But I think that if you're a confident person and you're quite happy within yourself and you don't have a whole lot of insecurities, you're probably not going to be a massively jealous person.
Yeah.
But I do think that it also plays into your personality as well.
Yeah. Because obviously I do have insecurities and I'm not perfect at all. But one thing I've really been proud of is that I'm actually not really a jealous person. And I know that that's one of your goals this year it was one of your sayings for the year, is comparison is a thief for joy. Was that one of the sayings?
No, but I have always resonated with that. I think that's a good one to always reflect on, but it's not for one this year. Yeah, I'm the same as you. I don't think that I'm a jealous. Especially in my older years, I definitely don't really get jealous at all anymore, and I see the admiration in people a lot more. Yeah. And I think that gets you a little bit further in life as well.
I think so.
But I can reflect back when I was younger and go, I could definitely get quite jealous or envious of somebody else's life or the things that they do or whatever.
Me too. And definitely probably at 26, I was jealous, and you'd look around and go, oh, well, how did they get that? Or, I want that, or things but then I think once you realize that you can have it, I think that's when some of the jealousy dwindles away. Because I think sometimes when we're jealous, it's because you want it and you don't feel like you can have it, and therefore you get jealous. But once you realize you can have what you want, I feel like that jealousy goes away. But my advice for this person, first off, would be figuring out what she wants, because she sounds very lost in, she wants to have fun, or I don't know if it's a girl or boy, but they want to enjoy their 20s, but it doesn't sound like they really know what they want.
Yeah. I would also say that they are really stuck in the past. If you didn't have a social life when you were a teenager and you're still dwelling on that, you need to let it go. You can't get those years back. If having a social life now is something that's really important to you, then start taking the small steps towards doing that thing, but stop going back in time and going, oh, I really regret the fact that I didn't have a social life in my teenage years. Forget about it. You can't do anything to change that. It is what it is. What are you going
to do to make the future different?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, identifying, well, I want to have a social life regardless of what's happened in the past. This is what I want it to look like, and taking steps towards that.
Yeah. And look, it's going to be scary.
Yeah.
It's always going to be scary doing the thing. But you've got to push through the fear in order to get something that you want.
Yeah.
And this is probably the best piece of advice that I can give you, is that the worst thing that can happen is somebody says no. And if that's the worst thing that's going to happen, it's really not that bad.
No.
You got to go through rejection sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a part of life.
That was one of your sayings, rejection is redirection.
Yeah, rejection is redirection. And I think that maybe changing your mindset to, let's say, for instance, you want to make more friends. You've got to put yourself in uncomfortable situations to make friends, especially if you're somebody that is more inherently introverted and you don't like social settings. You're going to have to put yourself in social settings to make friends. And so you've got to put yourself in those uncomfortable situations and go in with the idea that you may get rejected by people that don't want to be your friend for whatever reason that is, but they're just not your people.
Yeah, and that's okay. Not everyone is going to like you, and that's not a reflection on who you are. It's just a reflection on the people that you're going to that are going to choose to be part of your life. The other thing is like stop with the self-deprecation. We can all be, we are our hardest critic. Our brains fucking suck. Our brains are so mean to us and they are our worst enemy sometimes, and they really do sometimes unfortunately shape a really, really negative picture for us, because she says here that I feel like I'm not smart enough and, you know, this person's quite negative. We got to stop with the self-deprecation, and we really need, and it's like, I'm not saying it's easy, it's super, super hard because once again our brains fucking suck, but I think we need to start, okay, if you don't think you're smart enough, what are you good at? What do you really love about yourself?
Yeah.
And maybe channel into those things. And then once you can get the confidence by doing things that you already know that you're good at or your strengths, then you will start to get confidence to do those really scary things.
Yeah. And maybe try to think about what kind of friend is it that you would really like in your life, and visualizing what traits that friend has, and then implementing those own traits within yourself.
I think that's really good. Be the person that you want to bring into your life.
Yeah.
What's that word though? Attract.
Yeah.
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 Be what you want to attract.
Yeah.
It's like dress for the job that you want.
Yeah. Same. All right.
So that is it for today's episode.
Thanks for hanging out with us on the couch.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time. Same place. More yaps.
Stay comfy, darlings.